Did you know over 60% of first-time clients do not return for a second visit? That is so painful, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. This means that Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to joinmaya.com to set up your own personal virtual tour and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We promise you will love Maya.
Thank you for joining me. This is Katie Whitledge with a Beyond the Technique podcast. Hey, everybody. Today we're talking about a loyalty program that makes you money. Are you kind of in the same boat where you kind of set it and forget it? Or you think it's functioning, but you're not really sure? We're going to bring an expert here today. First time guest, Doug Campbell is here. Let me just tell you about Doug. He's been in the salon industry for 20 years. He and his wife own 2 salons and a barber shop down in Florida. Love working with them. And Doug has been a salon business coach for the last 9 years and currently owns Salon Doc Coaching Company. Doug's mission is to help salons be truly profitable businesses that they deserve to be. So I'm super excited to bring Doug Campbell. Welcome to Beyond the Technique.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. I appreciate it, Katie.
Okay, so if everybody's listening, you got to watch today's episode because Doug is handsome and he's got like perfect, flawless skin. So I don't know if this is a filter, but you look great. And I'm like, what is going? I need bright, shining, perfect skin myself. And anyway, go watch today's show. We have the link in our show notes to watch our episode on YouTube. It's always fun to see the faces behind the names. And I'm curious, Doug, would being in the beauty industry something you got pulled into by marriage, or were you doing hair? Like, how did this start for you 20 years ago?
No, I married into it. Absolutely married into it. And I've always been an entrepreneurial person, serial entrepreneur. And I had an advertising agency at the time. One of my biggest clients in the advertising agency was Nationwide. And when they sold their company, and we'd gotten so busy with the salon that I said, I'm just going to go do the salon business full time. And it's interesting because the salon business is different. It's not like other businesses, as you well know, but it's a great business. It's a fun business, and it can be a very profitable business when it's done right. But it's definitely a unique business. It's not normal cookie cutter business 101.
Yeah. And just tell us, like, over the past 20 years, what has surprised you about running a salon business? And what have you had to really figure out and maybe work harder to achieve?
First of all, I'll start with the harder thing is managing the personalities because it's all artists, right? Creative people. And fortunately, I've got an art background. I draw and paint. I've won state, national awards. I've had stuff hang in the state capitol.
What?
Got set. Yes. So,
I never knew this about you.
you never knew that? Well, see, there's a hidden thing. But yeah, so I really enjoy it. I airbrushed when I was younger. One of my first, when I was 18, I moved out of the house, left a note on the counter, have moved to beach. We'll call you later, Doug. I moved to the beach. I was airbrushing by day, bartending by night. It was a good life. But at some point I figured I need to do something different, but because I was making a lot of money, but spending a lot of money. But anyway, in the industry is learning the personalities and also getting things into not just having a good looking, attractive business, because a lot of salons are, but actually having a good business on the books. And I say that, but I know there's ups and downs. There's staffing issues, there's walkouts, there's, how do you do retail the right way? All those things that you need to tackle. But I'm one of those people, I really love a challenge and figuring it out. And I think the more things that how you're paying attention to and dialing in your business makes all the difference in the world. And one of the things I think that this industry has gotten a bad rap for is people saying that they don't understand numbers. I mean, some salon owners are saying, I just don't get numbers. It's because they've been told they don't know numbers for all their life. And it's just not true, because what I know, when people are given the right tools and taught the right way, they do very well, very well. And a friend of mine talked about a P&L. He's a private equity investor. And he said, understanding a P&L only takes an IQ of about 95 or 100. And that's not to insult anybody. It's just to say, you just need to be able to look at it and understand. Now, if your P&L is not put together correctly, I know we're off topic a little bit, but I just want to land a little bit from where I come from. If P&L is not put together correctly, of course you don't understand it. Of course you struggle with it. It's like if you took a first grade reader and said, of course I can read a first grade reader, Doug. It's like, what if I moved the sentences out of order, or I moved words out of order? You would struggle to read that same reader. Well, that's what happens with a lot of P&Ls, is that the accountant or bookkeeper puts it how they want to do it, not the right way for the industry. So then it is difficult to understand, and people can't use it as the tool that it deserves to be. So when you put it in the right order and understand it, anybody can do it. And it's, I've seen salon owner after salon owner that, like, I hate numbers, I can't stand it. And then after a little, it's like, I love numbers. Turns out, it's just the way it's presented. Okay. We can get back to what we're supposed to be talking about now if you want to.
No, I just think it's really interesting. I would agree. And 100% what you said about CPAs put things in their order and not necessarily the nuances of a salon business. So it's really cool that you come alongside owners and help them realize that potential. I was actually chuckling to myself, like, raise your hand if you're listening and you even know what your IQ score is. I don't. Whoever took that test, where do you take the test? Like, I'm like, what would I even score? I don't know, but that's funny. I think everything is figure outable, so that's good. So
right.
very cool. You do work alongside people. You want to help them, and one of the ways that you've helped salons is with money. And we're talking about money today, specifically on a marketing intentional program that most oftentimes owners kind of set and forget, which is the loyalty program. Now, I know that you and I both use Forest Salon software, and they have this really special way of setting up opportunities for clients. Like when they spend money, they get a return on that. They get but loyalty back. But tell us, for everybody listening who may not be fully in the know, what would it mean to have a loyalty program?
So loyalty program needs to be more than just rewarding people for what they're already doing. It's one of the keys is, if you've ever had a stylist leave and you reach out and you say, hey, to their clients, say, hey, you still have loyalty points with us. And the client responds, oh, I didn't know you had a program. That's a problem, right? But that happens more oftentimes than we realize, because we do set it and forget it. And so then it's just existing there. People that do realize they have it, they're doing it anyway. You're not changing behavior. The purpose of a good loyalty program is to change the client's buying behavior. If you're not doing that, then you may as well not have one, because all you're losing money on it. Because if you're not doing loyalty right, you're basically just discounting all of your services and products. So that's just the nature of it. So if you don't do it right, just don't do it at all. I would encourage you to do it right so that you change people's buying habits. And so
What's the most common like loyalty program you've seen that is not it? This is not the way you should do it. What's the most common thing you see?
the worst thing is when they have easy math, where as a consumer, I can look at it and go, oh, I'm getting a 2% discount, or I'm getting a 1% discount. That's a problem. I get, for every $100 you spend, you get $10 in rewards, or 10 points in rewards, that type of thing. It's like, with airline tickets, hotels, you don't have any idea what the algorithm is of how they're getting. You just know you're getting points, right? I'm getting points and Delta's upgrading me. That's great. So I'll just keep using Delta because I like to get upgraded. So I'm just wanting to earn my points. That's the behavior we want. We want them focused on earning points and excited about it. It's like, you've got to have a program that's exciting enough to get people's attention. So if they're at Ulta or Sephora or somewhere looking to buy beauty products, I want them to stop their track and say, no. Doug sells that at the Penthouse. We're getting it from him because I'm going to be part of his loyalty program, because it's worth it. So that's the thing. You got to make it where it's a shiny enough object that they get attention. So our big shiny object is a $500 Delta gift card that they can get to get a Delta plane ticket anywhere they want. I'm a Diamond Delta fella, and I like it. I like Delta. I like using Delta. So, I think rewarding people with that. So, but if you do, and so one of the things that we do also is we allow families to pool their points, so they can pool their points together. So if they got a family vacation coming up, they're flying somewhere, they would like to get a $500 credit. Well, mom, who's usually in charge of these things, is going to be making sure daughter Judy is going to the penthouse. Son Billy, that's 10, is going to the penthouse. Husband John, that's getting his haircut, is going to the penthouse, because we're all going to go there so we can earn that ticket. That's what I mean by changing people's buying habits, is that you really get to the point of that you're top of mind, which brings into whenever you do your loyalty program, you've got to have a marketing plan in place. You've got to internally be marketing that top of mind. And one of the things that I really like that Forrest has is a client-facing app that you can make it where their point total is on the app. When they open it up, their points are there. You can give them push notifications. Hey, we got this promotion going, that promotion going. And by the way, where you're going to make your money, where you're going to make profit in your salon is retail. For too long, everybody's like, oh, we're in the hair business. We are, but doing hair, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but doing hair is just to get foot traffic. If we're going to be a business, we're going to make money, we need to make sure that foot traffic that we're bringing in is purchasing stuff from us. Because I know that 98% of the people that walk through my door are using shampoo and conditioner. I also know that 95% of them are using some kind of styling product. I know that 99% of them use soap. We sell soap too. And we sell deodorant. So I want them buying it from me. So we're trying to do a better job of getting people to purchase from us. We obviously want to do amazing hair, but as a business owner, I want to capture more of the client's wallet and be intentional about that. That's where the money becomes real. It's like our profit last month was 19.62%, which is a whole lot better than the industry average. Generally, people are break even. A lot of people are losing money or small margins. And it's just because they're not looking at the right things. It's like you would never, as a salon owner or running a salon, not know how to use a blow dryer and a brush, right? Of course, it's a basic tool. Well, the other basic tool for running a business is a P&L and a balance sheet. And you've got to learn how to use those just as well. Then you can create beautiful financial statements, just like you can create beautiful hairdos right now. You can create beautiful financial statements. It takes both. But in order for this industry to be what it deserves to be, the businesses have to be profitable, because then they provide a better place for their people to work. And therefore, more people are encouraged to go into this industry, which is our core thing. We really want to make it where if little Sally or Billy are wanting to be hairdressers, that they're encouraged, they're not discouraged, and that's not a last opportunity thing. It's oh yeah, just like if you want to go to med school or something like that, because you can make the same money when it's done right. When it's done right.
I want to just point out that marketing does solve most problems, because I preach that constantly, which is tied to this program, which is tied to profitability potential. Most owners listening might say, well, I can't really depend on my stylist to sell. You have your star players who just naturally sell retail and do really well with that. And then you have others who often are a little more passive in sales. How do you take the opportunity of foot traffic? So it's like the whole story. How do you market to them to get them in, and then to get them to buy? What does that look like for you?
Okay, so there's three legs to that stool. The first one is merchandising. So we're going to merchandise in such a way that we get people off their phones and out of their chair. The purpose of merchandising is to engage the client. We want to interact with them and engage with them. One of the best ways that I know, like one of the things that we like to do is a free styling product, free heat protector with any hot tool. So the sign, the biggest word on it is free, that you can read from across the room. The rest of it, you can't read from across the room. So as a human being, if you're sitting there and you're looking at these $200-300 hot tools on the wall, and there's a sign that says free, it's very difficult to keep sitting. and say, no, I need to go over there and look at what's free about this. And by the way, hot tip on that, don't discount your tools. Give away a free product with your tools because they will continue to use that product. They're not going to buy another tool for a couple of years. Yeah. So that's one. We want to make sure doing curly hair tables, straight hair tables, hair loss tables, where you put pictures and people get up and engage. Those are marketing ideas. Next is a promotion. So the purpose of a promotion is not just to have one because my distributor is having one. The purpose of a promotion is to think about how am I triggering the person to purchase. So think about yourself. If you're looking at something in a store, you're like, oh, this is nice, I like it. And the sales rep comes up and says, hey, that's 30% off today. Or, hey, you get 2 of those, you get 1 free. Now they're like, oh, well, now I've got to get it because I liked it. Now so promotion is how do we get the client to pull the trigger? And then the third leg is what we're talking about today, which is loyalty. How do we change their buying habits? And that's what we're really going after with loyalty, is changing their buying habits, but making sure that they know there's got to be good signage. So to your point that made a while ago, because I agree with you that, people say, I hear it all the time, I just can't get my staff to sell. Okay. My response is quit making your staff sell. And people go, well, wait a minute, Doug, if I do that, well, let's talk about if you do that. If you do that, then maybe your staff's a lot happier because you're not beating them up on their retail every month. Maybe they feel more comfortable in your environment because they're not being forced to sell by the evil owner. So we'll change that paradigm. Unless you enjoy pushing Jello uphill. If you enjoy that, keep doing that behavior. That'll work well for you. Nice. So what we do is say, look, you do still need to have certain retail to go up the level chart. Of course you do, because that's what helps justify your higher commission. But what ours is, it's a reward to you. So we're taking responsibility as a company for selling to retail. We're going to reward you with a nice bonus as a thank you for bringing people in. All right. So it's a paradigm shift. We do a whole training on retail paradigm shift. What we're wanting to do is now then I encourage my staff, make sure that you educate your client about the loyalty program. Make sure you let them know what promotion we have going on. I have never had a stylist push back on that because they feel like both of those are gives, right? Hey, don't forget our loyalty program. You get a free airline ticket if you participate. Hey, buy 2, get 1 free. Don't miss out on that this month. Yeah, those are helps. And then the only other thing I want them to do is make sure they're educating the client on what they're using. You don't have to close them. You don't have to do all that other stuff. That's my responsibility as a business owner. It's me and the sales desk. That's our responsibility. And we're setting up a system in which we do that. Same way. But that's where loyalty really plays in. It is the third leg of that. So you got to have all 3 of those legs in order to make your retail sales, for the owner to take back over control of retail.
I like how you said sales desk. That could be its own podcast episode, but okay, let me go into loyalty as the third leg to the stool, because you said at the very beginning, this should not be a discount for ways that your customers are already spending money. So are the things that you're rewarding customers for above and beyond their normal services, or how do you give them reward points?
Yeah, so they get, the way we do it is it's 1 point for service and 2 points for retail, because we're wanting to reward more of the behaviors that we want. We also reward highly for gift cards. A little bit of a workaround to be able to reward people for gift cards bought for someone other than themselves. Don't let them buy them for themselves, or they're just discounting their own stuff. And one of the other things that we do, and that you do inside of Forest at least, is that they can use their rewards for something new to them. Right? So if you've never used a styling product before, you can use your points for it. If you've never, as far as services go, the only services that we allow are add-on services, like a deep conditioning treatment, an eyebrow wax, because otherwise you can really upset your staff if you're like, hey, their color's free next month because they've got points. You don't want to do that. But again, it's a chemistry system or a deep condition if you've never gotten it before. So what we're doing is we're expanding their wallet with us. By them earning points, we're giving them the right to enjoy more things with us for free because they're doing business with us. And then the whole ecology of that works. They're spending more and more with us. They're happier because they're more of a one-shop place. They're getting it all done. they're feeling rewarded. And then we got the shiny objects like the plane ticket. But, I mean, we built a calculator that shows you, one, how do you figure out how many points that should be? What does that deserve to be? But then on the next tab, it also shows you how much profit you'll make if someone redeems that $500 gift certificate.
Well, for everybody listening, in our show notes, we have this special link that you can click on to go through this calculator to see if your rewards program is making you money. Maybe it's not. Doug has a whole setup for you to take advantage of. So click on the resources in our show notes under follow Doug Campbell with the Salon Doc, and you'll get access to everything they have going on right now, including that calculator. So I think it's really cool that you offer this Delta $500 voucher to use. Like, how do you pull that off with Delta? Like, how do you like logistically manage that giveaway?
And so because we were going to do it where we would get them a ticket up to a certain amount, but because we could use our points at that point, right? We could use our points we use our Delta American Express to do all of our purchasing at the salon. So the more people would buy from us, obviously the more points we have. However, whenever you're doing someone's ticket, that's too much personal information that we didn't want to be responsible for. So we'll just do a gift card. So when someone says, I want to redeem the gift card, it's redeemed through the system. So that gift card lives in our system as a retail item with $0 to it, but X number of points. I think it's 29,000 points is what you would get that ticket for. Then they let us know. Then we go on to Delta and we buy them a gift certificate with the email that they provided us, everything. And then it's handed off to Delta. Delta sends it to them. They get it. They do whatever they want to with it. And we do $100, $250, and $500. So there's 3 different levels of the Delta gift card that people get. The other one I really like are hot tools, because the redemption cost can be 0 with hot tools. If you go and talk to your distributor and you show them you have a real plan for how you're doing loyalty and a real plan to increase your retail sales, you say our goal is to increase our retail sales by 15-20% this year. Your distributor is going to get very excited about that number. So they're going to say, how could we help out? Well, how you could help out is find somebody redeemed for a hot tool. I would love if you'd complimentary give me one. And we've gotten that. So then that redemption cost to you as a business owner is 0. That's one of those things. Have the conversation, but you got to have a real plan. You can't just go, hey, Salon Centric or Life of Riley or whoever, say, give me some hot tools and I'll sell some retail. That's not the way it works. It's like, here's our plan. Here's how we've got laid out. This is how it all works. This is how we calculated things. And this is actually that calculator shown. This is how much in sales we would have in order to justify them getting this reward. There's a lot of power in numbers and information. That's why I'm a big fan of building calculators and sheets that do things for you. Like we have a weekly P&L dashboard for our clients. And so they, on a weekly basis, takes them about 15 minutes on a Monday once they get it set up to update it. And they know if they made money last week or not. Last week I asked me, hey, do you know what your profit is? Well, I'm not sure. I'm waiting on my accountant or my bookkeeper. And most of the time they are. Their bookkeeper's 3 months behind. They don't know. So it's like we're taking it out of their hands and put it back in the owner's hands. And there's a lot of power in knowing, was last week profitable or not? And then I look at my scorecard and see where we were on our goals. Then you've got power. That's your blow dryer and your brush that we talked about earlier, right? But loyalty is a key part of that. If you do loyalty right, it's a huge part of it.
I love how you said put together your plan based on data and numbers, and you just don't get what you don't ask for. So I love that piece of advice to connect with vendors to do the giveaways. Is there anything else about the loyalty program that most salons may not be thinking of?
I think the biggest mistake that I see people do with loyalty is to set it and forget it. Because you have a big launch, we put out the email blast, social media blast, it's on every station. Then 6 months later, nobody knows anything. So it's got to stay up there. It's like one thing that Force allows us to do also is we can double their points for the day if they pre-book. So there again, that's a conversation that can happen. Would you like to go ahead and rebook today and double your loyalty points? So the word loyalty just came out of my sales desk mouth every time somebody's going to leave the salon. So it keeps it top of mind. And we've had, I was up there, just happened to be up there. I'm not up there a lot, but it's at the front desk, and we had somebody leaving. I was the one doing it. And I mentioned it to them, and she said, well, we have a standing appointment. I said, well, then every time you come in, you will get the double the points. And she looked at her friend. She goes, well, since we're getting double points, she looked at Heather and said, what was that you suggested a while ago? And she went over and got it and purchased it. That's the way it's supposed to work. But ongoing marketing, ongoing email, ongoing text, or think about any loyalty program that you're a part of. You get, and no one likes spam email and all that stuff, but I never mind an email that says, hey, you've got some free money hanging out here. Those are the best kind. The worst kind are telling you to spend money. The best kind are telling you got free money. That's who you want to be, is letting people know, ding, hey, guess what? You've got free money. So that's why I say, make sure people are marketing it well, launch it, design it well. But even the best designed loyalty program isn't worth anything if it's not continually marketed and promoted.
Yeah. And if I may, one of my takeaways from you is you can't set it and forget you're training your sales desk either, because I think a lot of us include all of these things with onboarding, and then we just assume that it's going to be remembered forever. And it's just like how we train our stylists. They can never have too many trainings on how to do a great consultation. And it's the same for our front desk. And so tell us just a bit about this mentality of your front desk team members being a sales desk.
Yeah. So the whole idea with them being in sales is that, so well, like when we hire them, we set that context right. We don't hire for front desk, because you hire for front desk, you put out ad for front desk, people hear receptionist. And then you hire them on and said, and you need to sell. Is it, wait a minute, you hired me as a receptionist. So we don't want to have that conflict. We hired them as a sales, desk person. Is then we talk about and then we reward them for it, right? We reward them for, they've got certain goals. So what's in it for them? It's like, so it's not just, because sometimes the way we had set up is like, they're seeing these stylists make all this money and they're out there making great money. And it's like, and they're like, I'm busting my butt up here and I'm helping them make all this money and I just get abused. So we're trying to shift that paradigm. So one of the things that we do on that, just a hot tip real quick, is we allow the first sale of any item, the 10% commission goes to the sales desk. And then every time they rebuy after that, it goes to the stylist. So there again, we're wanting the sales desk to engage them in new stuff. So that every time they do, they get rewarded. And the stylists don't mind. I had one of ours push back and say, well, wait a minute. I say, look, you're a very busy level 6 stylist. You don't have time to talk to people about makeup, about skincare, about farm fresh soaps and all this stuff. You can't do that. But what if you had someone that they're selling for you and they get 10% off the first sale, you get your 20% off every sale after that. I was like, is that not okay? That they're working for you for free, making you money? She said, oh, no. So then she changed her mind. So now that she's very good at educating them. Oh, by the way, so-and-so's coming in. She might be interested in X, Y, and Z. So talk to her about that. And so then there gets that synergy thing of how do we make all these pieces of the puzzle fit together? It goes back to what I said earlier. It's not about, yes, we're in the business doing hair, but if you get too focused on that it's all about hair and it's not about running a business that produces great hair, then it doesn't work. And one other thing, I just read a book on the Biltmore, because we're close to the Biltmore here in North Carolina. We have a house in North Carolina and Florida, so back and forth. But that whenever Cecil took over the house, it's a great history all the way back to Cornelius. But anyway, he took 25% of their revenue and put it into marketing. And that's the reason that the Biltmore is still the largest private resident, privately owned, for-profit historical property in the United States. It's the only one. But the reason is because he looked at it like a business. He said, we don't preserve the house to make a profit. We make a profit to preserve the house. So it's like, we don't do hair to make a profit. We make a profit so we have a great place to do hair.
That's so good.
So anyway,
that needs to be one of the quotes that we promote this podcast with, because it's so good. And interestingly, most salon owners in the US spend just 3% of their revenue on marketing. Mm-hmm. And maybe ironically, maybe not, the average profit margin for a salon is 3%. That is also interesting. But how do owners who are listening to today's conversation and they want to build this out and maybe more importantly, help figure out how can I bring in 19% profit? How do
Mhm.
you work with them? Like, how can they begin that conversation with you? And how quickly have you in the past and currently like help people make a change and become more profitable?
It happens quicker than you would think. It actually surprises people sometimes just because you can't manage what you don't know. If you don't know what your P&L is, your P&L is 6 months behind or a year behind. If, if you're opening up your P&L and it's like the lottery, did I win or not? Then you're not doing it the right way. And you can. Everybody's capable of doing it. So if they want to work with us, it, we we do one-on-one coaching monthly. I do one-on-one coaching. We have 3 community calls a week. We've got a group. We've got the school group. You go in, all the trainings are in there. You're with your bigger community. We do 2 live events a year because one build want to learn from each other. They get one-on-one guidance, but then get a lot of group learning. And that's what I really enjoy. It's amazing when it's funny because it goes from I used to be really thrilled whenever our stylist would buy a new house or be able to send their kids to a great college or do those. They drove up in a car, the bumper fell off when they applied for their job to start off with. Now they're doing great. It's the same thing with salon owners at this point. It's amazing to watch people come in. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to keep my doors open for another 6 months or another year. To then going, wow, we've got options and we may open another location and we're this and we're that. And, it just changes things because it's a great industry and people poured their blood, sweat, and tears into it. And the only reason I know anything, by the way, is because I've been in the industry for 20 years and made a lot of mistakes. Fortunate enough, I've learned from them and I've been around people that have helped me learn from them. So that's the only way that I know. That's the only way I know what I know. But um, but anyway, yeah, we'd love to work with anybody. And I'd tell you this, if if you work with us and we're not the right fit, I'll actually try to point you to another company that I think is, because I do think that you deserve some kind of coaching. Anybody that does great in anything has some form of coach in their corner. And we also do a 90-day, 100% money back guarantee. If after 90 days you're not happy with what we're doing, I'll give you all your money back. Because my goal is not to take your money. My goal is to make you profitable so that you can continue to use our service and continue to make a great environment for people to work in and you improve the future of the business. So,
That's awesome. Thank you, Doug. What would be some final words of wisdom for owners listening today on this topic of loyalty?
uh, on loyalty, I say do it. Don't have. I know a lot of people resist it. Well, if I'm giving stuff away, and in the past you probably have been. Let's do it right. Like I said, we got that calculator, and there's a training that goes with the calculator. It works for things over $50. Under that, it's not going to work. And I explain it in the training why. Um, but do it right, and then market it the right way, and make it a driving machine for you. I mean, it should be part of your marketing thing. It's like one thing I do appreciate about force on you. It's under marketing is where all the loyalty stuff and everything is, because that is what it is. It's a form of marketing that deserves some attention. Do it the right way. You expand the wallet. You get people loyal to you, but it's got to work synergy. If you got one, probably look at it, redo it. But yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in that free part that you have to link to. A lot of free stuff that you can use and do. A lot of do-it-yourself stuff. But anyway, that would be my advice.
Well, thank you, Doug. I really appreciate you being with us today and sharing this cool program. And again, for everybody listening or watching today, go to our show notes and start following Salon Duck on Instagram and connect with them. They are a tremendous resource and they can help you grow your business. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Katie. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for joining us here week after week. If you appreciate this platform, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening so that more people like yourself will discover Beyond the Technique, where we're here to change the way that you are supported in your business. Until next time, have an awesome day and stay strong.